Why, hello, folks, and welcome to the Mechpit chat. I am your host, Ironcaster, here to bring you all some little bit of positivity to start the week off with, as we are getting into the swing of things. Uh, slight hiccups here at the Mechpit, as apparently Streamlabs decided that it was going to lose all of my clips, so I've had to kind of scramble to find everything, and that's how it goes. And oh yeah, apparently I had to pay for it again, which is weird. I'm sure I won't regret that in like a month. But all that said, folks, welcome, one and all. Out there in chat, we got Vince is out here dropping all my links. And buddy, I thank you so much for that each and every time you do it. You don't have to do it, but I is always appreciated. Man, go get your rest, do your thing, take care of yourself because we gotta make sure we stay healthy. Them robots ain't gonna build themselves. Uh, Also out here in the chat, we have Dave C, who's saying hello to the others, and as always, thank you for joining us. But just speaking of joining us, we have someone down there in the chat who's decided to pop on in, and well, why don't we bring him in with a little bit of style? We have a wild Punkwaddle.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, my friend?
Well, you know what? I'm really excited to be here because just like me, this Gundam has wings.
Ooh, bravo, sir.
It's all downhill from here.
You saw it, you swung for it.
Mm-hmm.
They say you miss all the jokes you don't take a swing at, and brother,
Yeah.
you hit a home run with that one. Happy Monday, and how's it going?
Oh, it's going all right. It's the start of the week. Broke the ice a little bit early myself today. Didn't sleep amazing, but I tried to have some of some Chick-fil-A spicy nugget because let's just face it, in a small town there are a few things, and well, as much as McDonald's breakfasts can be okay, I just need that chicken bite, chicken biscuit that dries out your mouth unless you use enough jelly or jam or something or honey.
They say you can judge a small town by the quality of its spicy nuggets.
Mm, they do.
At least that's a philosophy I've always adhered to, and you kind of can't go wrong with like Wendy's because where else are you gonna go for spicy nugs?
Well, we used to have one. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
It's always the worst, especially when you wind up losing all your when you wind up losing your good food places. It's now I have to
Well,
go. Now I have to go to the bad Chinese place.
well, it turned into a panda cafe, or Panda Express, so it's not terrible.
At least there's that.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway, enough about. Well, I mean, panda is an Asian style food, so if we hop, swing, and a jump over to.
how the heck did pandas become the like symbol of being quick and speedy? Like, aren't they like a fairly lethargic animal when you think about it?
Mm,
They lay around all day, they eat bamboo, but apparently they're the symbol of like fast food.
yeah.
The heck did this work out?
Chinese marketing.
I'm not sure. But
Mhm.
what's been going on in the world of mecha for you, my friend?
Well, um, I did see that the Hatsune Miku RG Zaku is up for pre-order. We had talked about it, and that's a nice color scheme, but it's an RG and it's kind of expensive, and I don't know how worth it is for me.
Well, I mean, the thing is with those specialty suits like that, uh, it'd be worth it if they were going to be affordable and not like a marked up premium that you have to order from like P Bandai or from some like marked up website.
And the other thing is some of the websites that I do frequent, basically they're like, "Hey, yeah, we have a few stipulations on ordering them. Like you have to order more than just you one per person, but you have to order some other stuff. Basically, no cancellations. We want to believe that you're not a scalper. We want to believe that you're really serious. So you actually have to get other stuff from us to justify this. Because yeah,
Like I get wanting to make sure you know you're gonna have a customer who's gonna actually make through on the end, but at the same time they gotta make this at least a little more affordable. They gotta make this a little easier for us out here.
Mhm.
It ain't easy.
It is not.
Because I'm looking at all these like figures over on like P Bandai, and it's like, yeah, I could buy the Shinmusha Gundam Sengoku for 120. It's like,
Well, and then there's the other thing of well, the and I know this is kind of more political this week, but with the tariff talk, with when we have the issue of Nintendo's, well, they're having facing a huge backlash. So I think they're kind of using the tariff and a few other reasons to like pause the pre-orders to figure some things out, which might be smart of them. Um,
and yeah,
but
that is a big issue that's kind of coming up, especially right now. Uh,
like, and sorry, I was talking to a friend about Hasbro and how they're saying they're going to some of their higher end stuff is going to get sacrificed on the price points to keep their lower ends more affordable. So that is if anybody buys a higher price point. So there's a lot of stuff going on about us who like these big robots, and is it time to buy stock
well,
before they jack up
it's
in price?
well, the thing is, it's happening all across the market, and I think we're gonna have to see some fundamental changes come along.
Hmm.
So as an example, board games.
Yeah.
That's another little hobby I happen to
Okay.
have a bit of an interest in. These little
Yeah.
Kickstarters pop up from companies like Cool Mini or Not, which will put out like Zombicide with all these great design miniatures for that game. And the thing is, the dirty little secret about them is all of the extra pieces are made and manufactured over in China, where they can
Hmm.
do it for dirt cheap, as opposed to the United States or somewhere outside of there.
Okay.
And so I think in that particular case, you're going to have to see some fundamental changes in the market. And the biggest thing I think we'll see change, especially with the world of collectibles in general, I think we're going to see more companies starting to look towards 3D printers.
Hmm.
And specifically, the fact that these things are getting to be consumer grade. I spent $300 for one. It's in my in my laundry room, and I can have that thing printing up a bunch of little minis. In fact, I've printed up a little free run about yay tall.
Yeah.
I'm already looking at like some other stuff I want to print up. Like we could design and print up a Mr. Cool Snowed Up. I think you would love that more than anything. We just like pump things out. We could like pass them out at like conventions. We could come up with some
Hmm.
neat ideas like this if we can find the time, find the effort to go and do some designing.
A three-part penguin. You know, the well, three or four part. Well, I'm thinking, you got the body, the white stomach, the beak, and the purple mohawk. Some could be painted, or some could be like probably designs of click build or something.
Let's see, did I? Yeah, I thought I had tweeted this out. Did I not?
I know I did, but I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I have a cat who's decided to join me. Who's
Oh,
decided I can only do this with one hand, as opposed to all the other times where I can only work at the computer with one hand.
right, because you're a puppet. Sounds like Giggity or Piper's
Puppet,
problem.
right? We'll go with that one.
Yeah. Although I haven't seen you in a puppet stream in a while, so it's kind of not to call you out on either.
I feel called out.
Yeah. Hand check. this is awkward.
It's the cat.
Yeah.
Nova, are you gonna show up and let you like prove that I'm not doing naughty things? You want to say something?
Meow.
No.
Notice how he's not picking up the cat. It's the cat's job to show itself on stream.
Okay.
All right. The cat's really excited to be on start of YouTube.
Okay, Nova. I swear, he's just come to here. He's just come to like steal all my attention. It's like right when I'm trying to do something. But anyway, so I guess kind of getting into things a little bit here. I was fully expected to sit down to talk about some Gundam tonight.
Yeah.
Well, the current oncoming one, Mobile Suit Gundam GQs. Unfortunately, I got the schedule wrong. It didn't premiere yesterday. Apparently it plays tomorrow. So we'll be having it on Tuesdays to
Fair
watch
enough.
if I understand this correctly.
Well, that gives us more than enough time to watch it for next week for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll just do a little one-off stream Wednesday.
Maybe. I might be able to make it. We'll have my puppet talk to your puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Nova, you can go.
Is that your puppet?
No, that's the little furry bastard who's making a mess.
Yeah.
However, everything's said and done. Actually, oddly enough, there was a little bit of news that came up this week, and it's kind of right in our wheelhouse of stuff.
Oh.
And it's got a sweet pair of tits attached. Let's be perfectly blunt.
All right.
Yeah.
That's not usually blunt, and those are not usually the two things I put in the same sentence, but
some rumors going around that Sydney Sweeney might be in talks to work with this Gundam movie.
Live action?
Yes. This is one of those things that's been talked about for quite a while now.
Right.
There was a couple of comic writers that were attached to pen this, but that was like back in 2018, 2019. It's ultimately kind of sat there and not much has come of it, and we got like
Lionsgate one that we've heard off and on, because that still was what I saw like 3 years ago posted, right?
That's the very same.
Okay. Yeah, immediately. Oh, well, this is going to bring a lot of talk about in the same way that we talk, the back channel about Toei Entertainment, and I think Nintendo, Sony working together to make the live action Zelda. Now we're having Bandai, once again, this is all about appealing to Western markets, getting this movie up and running, and who but America's sweetheart herself, Sydney, to be in one of the roles. This is going to be a lot of eyes and attention on maybe some mecha, but at least things.
Well, see, the thing is, we've certainly seen a large resurgence of attention into these Japanese originated properties. Of course, we have the Mario movies done successful. Like you said, we have Zelda.
Yeah.
One Piece over on Netflix. Devil May Cry is doing pretty well right now for all things considered.
Yeah.
We are in the age of adaptation. And we have been for a long time.
And we're getting to the age of just accepting that the Eastern markets, Japan, Korea, South Korea, and China, are the heavy hitters in entertainment when it comes to anime, manga, live action, K-dramas, video games, Marvel Rivals, and a lot of these free-to-play games are just knocking it out of the park and people are eating it up, which is another reason why if they shift to focus on global markets, they're just going to dominate, and they have the potential to just, like, as far as the thing with localizers, just take all those gatekeepers and be like, this is us, and if you want our product, which is better than yours, you're going to take it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, right?
Yeah.
There was an article that had come out this past week from, I believe, Bounding into Comics it was
Yeah.
talking about
Spencer
how
Cooley.
Yep. How a lot of these Japanese properties are going to start expanding their reach out to the wider West because the at-home audience just can't keep up. They've got like a 1.31 birth rate is the number I think I saw cited,
Yeah.
and and we're gonna see a much wider push. We've seen this with a lot of anime going more Western.
Mm-hmm.
We've got just more and more stuff popping up, and in fact, we're even seeing it over here with one of my beloveds, Kamen Rider, who has even popped up their own Kamen Rider EN account.
Yeah, and I didn't want to steal all your thunder on this one, but all this stuff is interconnected, and it's really exciting.
Absolutely, and I see good. I see a lot of potential good to come. I think, frankly, a lot of the stuff from the West has just gotten tapped out and lost a lot of its magic. I mean, Marvel
mojo,
certainly.
it's muchness. Yeah, sorry.
Marvel has kind of lost a lot of that sparkle to it, which is ironic considering we just got Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals this week.
Mm-hmm. That's a sparkle, and mommy issues are incoming, right? Marvel mommy incoming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She'll read your mind. She knows exactly what you want.
There's gonna be some creepy, weird ASMR stuff real soon.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
but getting
degeneracy. Go ahead. Speaking of mommy, sorry.
Oh, I'm surprised Marvel hasn't tried to sweep her up outside of her what was it, Madam Web?
Yeah, that didn't pan out, and I think she learned her lesson.
Although, as I think everyone's pointed out, like she came out of that fairly unscathed.
And from what I understand, she did well in that role. Like, for her contributions and her career, it didn't diminish. But would she want to get back in bed with Marvel at this point? Maybe not.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think a lot of the luster has fallen off of the brand, and at the same time, their actors looking for a gig. If Marvel were to come knocking and offer her like a couple $1 million for her
Robert Downey Jr. money,
yeah, exactly. You'd be smart. You take the money.
But this right here is what we're talking about. The manifest destiny of all of these Eastern companies just blowing up in their entertainment, how it's been taking storms. Like, people like Nerdrotic and Yellow Flash have been talking about this 3 to 5 years, how anime and manga have taken over, and the foot's in the door, the inception, we're way back past that. So her teaming up with Gundam, when they're also doing the Eva series, right? Like, there's a whole lot of momentum of why this is a really good move for all of us.
I mean, Gundam is one of the better known franchises. It sort of percolates under the surface. People do recognize Gundam. People do know what it is, and there is potential here to do well. The only question is, what story would they tell, and what story would you want to see them tell with Gundam?
She could be Char's sister, if they wanted to go that old school route, counterattack, that sort of thing.
Personally, I'm kind of more of a fan of them kind of going off to do their own story rather than what has kind of been my biggest fear for years was them going to do an adaptation of like Gundam the Origin, or going back to the going back to like the Amuro story.
Maybe they could just cut Hathaway and do a live action version, and she could be the saucy blonde, right?
I mean, either way, no matter which way you cut it, they're gonna have to go ahead and pad out that cockpit of the Gundam, the chest, to accommodate Sydney.
Yep.
And we'll let that one hang.
Yeah. A moment of silence, please.
Make it 2.
Also, or we could bring up Vince Womack. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. The rumors
either
are
way,
there.
this was a little bit of a surprise to see pop up. It's just there has been a whole lot of momentum happen with this story, so it really surprises me to see her name kind of getting floated out. And
yeah,
I wonder how much of it is just people trying to make it happen. Exactly.
And it is interesting because you're right. The fact that this has been in purgatory for, like I said, we got this image about 3 years ago, and the rumors had already been going on about 1 or 2 years. However, here's the thing. If they paused production to try and wait for the right time, wait for entertainment things to work again, and now things are in the upswing, as opposed to, let's say, casting and I'm pretty sure this is true, this is my working theory, casting and figuring out 6, 7, 8 years ago who was going to be the stars of the Borderland film, and then not making it for 7 real years and realizing how irrelevant it was by then. If they paused and now they're going to try and make it relevant to today, I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, speaking of pause, I'm going to pause you for one moment here, so I can go ahead and bring in a guest in the back here who's been so kind to also join us here. So I could play his clip, or I don't know, we'll do something a little silly for him. Hey, Snacks.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, that's for Snacks.
What we all talking about tonight?
Well, we're starting off with just a little rumor going around that Sydney Sweeney might be attached to this live action Gundam project.
She gonna be Sally? Sayla? Sorry.
That's the speculation that people are throwing out, that she could be playing Sayla.
Okay.
But again, at this point, nothing really hard confirmed. Though I feel like they would almost want to make her the main protagonist of our story rather than kind of a side character.
Yeah, but so she would be a lead actress, and the top tier lead actress that should be in the original Gundam would be Sayla, right? That or Frau Bro, but I don't think she'll play Frau Bro.
No. Just as long as we don't get little Spider Boy playing Amuro Ray.
Oh no! Please no.
I don't need Tom Holland playing every male lead.
I don't need Tom Holland in anything else. He's not a good actor. He's okay. He's a good supporting cast character.
I would hope we get. I'm not saying, I don't know. I don't want huge mega stars, right? Either.
Yeah, no, I don't want that either. I want someone who will play good. Yeah. I don't know. Someone unknown would be okay.
Yeah.
It is something to sit here and kind of dreamcast about, because there's so many possible things you could do with it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Oh yeah, Parks and Recs.
Oh, sorry, yeah, he should play. I've heard this, and I agree 100% about the guy from Parks and Rec playing
Ron
Burrell, yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, he should. He looks the part. He'll probably hit that freaking like
in Parks
that
and Rec.
character.
He has the alter ego where, Ron Swanson and Nick Offerman, but he also has the like Doug Masterson or whatever. He's the guy who plays smooth jazz on his saxophone. Like that is Ron Burrell in so many iterations, right? Hanging out at the jazz club, like, yeah.
It's like, all right, but how would you feel about if we could get Nick Offerman here to play Ron Burrell? We get Sydney Sweeney playing Sayla, but then it means we have to have Tom Holland as Amuro.
I'll be okay with Tom Holland as Amuro if we get a damn good Char. I don't know who is going to be Char, but as long as we get a really good Char, I'll be okay.
Owen Wilson.
You know what? I might actually be okay with that.
That weird, like he could, if he did more serious, that weird quirky side of him that kind of was like, what do you mean, right?
Wow.
So
he would have to like go out of his character type of actors, you know. How each actor has kind of their own kind of character. You'd have to go out of his shell a little bit.
And maybe it's just because of that joke.
I don't have all these clips loaded.
That was
all I have to say to that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I can see it now.
Yeah, 100%. This is not the first time someone said that on the line, and I was like, "Yep, that's 100%."
By the way, Fabric Falls, that would be an also acceptable casting to do.
Yeah,
having Sydney Sweeney and Darling the Franks.
You know what? She would be good. Was it 0220? I don't know. Forgot the main character's name. I just know it's something like that.
Sadly, it was a rather forgettable. It was a rather forgettable series. Aside from just,
you know what, I loved it when I was following it. It was a little forgettable, unfortunately, but I would totally watch it again. I'd probably still like it.
It might be worth time to revisit, but maybe once I get caught up with Space Pirate Captain Harlock. I've got about 10 episodes left in that, and I'll be all set. You hear this? I'm actually working on my Annie list.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been slowly parsing out a couple things on it, and I'm totally not embarrassed by how many shows I bit off to watch.
Yeah.
Shut up. But anyway, guys, we do have I think a more prime topic tonight to talk about. So give me 1 second here as we move on to the next topic. Because today marks an anniversary, my friends. Today is the 30th anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. And for a lot of those in the West, this was that introduction to a much wider world. And I don't know about you guys, but this was certainly one of those big introductions for me when it did air on Toonami.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's, of course, we would have got it later, like 97. There we go. So, let me ask you guys, like, where does Gundam Wing set for you when it comes to anime overall?
Anime overall. It's right up there with like Dragon Ball Z. Like I used to like watch it on like there used to be like a moment where I just rewatched it over and over again, you know what I mean? Like not consecutively, but I'd rewatch this series, like, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 months would go by and I'd rewatch it again, you know.
It's it's a series that I think I watch about once a decade. And I can't help but wonder if that isn't for my own personal taste, because like I sort of grew to really like other series like the original and G Gundam more, that there's almost resentment that came from just how popular this one was, that it overshadowed everything else. I'm like, guys, what about all the others? Shut up! We're talking about Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's just where I sit with some of these things sometimes.
It's all good.
I mean, it's fair because, well, I get it. It's like, this is the best new thing. You have to hype, and it's like the aversion of, okay, like I want to experience it, but in my own balanced, based psyche, right?
Yeah, and it's one of those thoughts that I sit here and kind of mull over, and ultimately kind of come back around to say maybe I'm just being too harsh on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I just need to kind of come back to it, because let's be real, like it has some amazing elements that go into it, from the theme song "Just Communication" to these protagonists, the antagonists. I mean, who all doesn't remember Zex Marquis with that amazing white helmet?
Mm.
Like I said, Zex Marquis is like the best Char clone. In
Yeah.
my opinion. Like, apart from Char being the best iteration of it, he's the best clone, I think.
He really is. And I mean, the series is gone on to be just have such a footprint for us all.
Yes.
I mean, I remember kind of going back over it myself to, I was about 7, 8 at the time. I remember, getting on the bus, getting excited to talk about what's going on with Gundam. I remember going to the local high school and taking swim lessons. And while we're all there draped in our little towels, getting ready to go jump in, I can remember, talking with the others about Gundam and that big epic duel between Heero and Zex, as they both fight with Gundams. It is amazing. And it's hard to forget.
And it is. It's amazing.
Let's see. You won't see this at cons anymore, though. No. Sometimes unfortunately, it's just become an old person anime, and we're gonna sit here and talk about how great this old show was. They don't make it like this anymore. They don't make
Back in
fan art like this
1995,
anymore.
we used to have big robots.
I'm gonna go join the circus and have a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the love interest that every pilot gets, this one's gonna throw knives at me.
Yeah. Well, then there is that weird.
I do like Heero. He's probably my favorite pilot.
Well, then you have the just the misogynistic. I'm just thinking of all the labels that can call Wu Fei right now. The guy that just like that militant, angsty teen that like, I will not accept any rationality. I don't care. And it takes this like soft, gentle woman to be like, oh, maybe I could be a person. Like he just thinks
now,
like
Lieutenant Noin, gotta give her props. She is a really good pilot. It's just
yes.
she can't hang with the a literal Gundam. The machine is vastly superior than the what is she piloting, the Ares?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ares, which in every way was
was
inferior to just a Leo with a flight suit.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how each iteration of those grunts, and the funny thing is there's still some of those grunts that still don't actually have kits, which is kind of sad because some of them were a decent actual model, but there were just so many of them.
Yeah. Well, Zex Marquis did outpilot Heero in the Leos, so that explains how awesome he is. Just literally take out a Gundam with the Leos.
He was just that kind of badass. And then he's got to
Yep.
sit here and he has to opine, Father, why am I not good enough? Because it was the 90s and half our characters have to be angsty.
Well, obvious. I mean, I get the angsty part, but like,
No one understands me.
but Wu Fei he kept on making the worst decisions of just like, I'm going to isolate myself. And he's that kid that was like militantly homeschooled, but like not even for religious purposes.
Now, I will say, like,
Wu Fei
a
was
character
raised by
that's not usually talked about too much, but Trace is like a badass.
Well,
Just-
yeah.
Wu Fei was
like,
raised by a single father who got screwed over by the the parent custody system,
the ex-wife, and yeah, that makes more sense.
and he was allowed to listen to Andrew Tate.
Now
I don't know
Now
about
you've
that,
made
but-
a relatable villain out of him. Tragic backstory.
I'm
Hey,
just
I like
saying,
Trace. Trace is good.
Trace was
Yes.
solid.
Yes.
He's a guy who had everything planned out, who was going to win in the end.
Yeah, he's the villain that we needed.
The voice actor for Duo, not Duo, the Death Scythe.
Yeah, Duo.
Oh, Duo. I don't know why, but yeah, him.
You're right. You're right.
He was in everything back then.
He
Like-
kind of was, wasn't he?
Like that voice, like he was the pity of the 90s. He wasn't like, he's almost like the guy who plays Fry, just one of those super well known. Like I think he was in the Mighty Ducks cartoon. I think he might have been one of the turtles. Like I have to look it up, but he was just such a prominent voice actor. Just in the same way now that we have 15 voice actors from all of the anime, right? all of the studios,
All of the animes.
right?
It isn't just Troy Baker gravelly gargling half the characters.
Right. I mean, it's three other people gargling the other half of the character, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So the fact that they had some of the big voice actors of the era of the Western cartoons, the same way, like, dare I say, Studio Ghibli, right? One of the things that helped them when they came over is they got really prominent voice actors from the era, like Nausicaa with, Jean-Luc Picard, like
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, like all these big, well-known voices that as soon as people go to the theater, they can identify, they know who that voice is, the character becomes so real to them. Like, it was very well done.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli had some good pull within the voice acting community, I guess.
Well, I think it just goes back a testament to
it's
their
easy
art.
it's easy when you got Disney to pull some strings.
Right,
but-
which is another thing that's not being talked about in that whole debate that we don't have to go into right now.
But
I just
real
find
quick,
it funny they had a better pull than their the company that they parted ways from, Toei.
Yeah. I mean,
real quick,
Like Ghibli or
real quick, guys.
Toei?
I need to go ahead and bring someone in from the back here. So
okay.
I'm a little short on clips for you, my friend, but we're gonna play this one all the same.
Get the flamer. The heavy flamer.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that clip any day. I'll take that clip any day.
Long time no see, Anime Night. How you doing?
I'm good. Off the heels of Game on Expo. Lots of awesome over the weekend. But that's for another story. Right now we're talking about Gundam. One of my mechas. One of the first mecha anime I got into during Toonami's Midnight Run in the late 90s.
Good man.
And the one where I got my ass beaten by my stepdad for getting caught way past bedtime, and I took that ass whipping. I smiled because you know what? I'm like, it's worth it. It's
Yeah,
worth it.
put some Gundanium on your chest. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is worth it because, I think we could all forgive you for staying up past your bedtime to watch Gundam Wing. Look, we've all been there. I certainly remember doing it far too many times when like Yu Yu Hakusho was first airing, when Lupin the Third was airing at like 1, 2 a.m. I'm like, I can't watch this any other time. It's Saturday.
Exactly, and because what happened was I didn't realize my dad had my stepdad had the TV on a bit loud, and the remote is like it has a 1 second delay. So try to turn down the TV, and you have that 1 second delay. So right as I hit Adult Swim, on comes Gundam Wing and it blasts Jet Communication by 2Mix. And it's just the opening bit that is heard.
Dun,
And,
dun,
like,
dun,
and then I-
dun, dun, dun,
and I
dun.
hear
What is that
and I hear
sound?
loud footsteps. It's my stepdad. He's like, "Boy, what the hell you doing?" And whack. Oh, it was worth it.
Did you scream, "It's a Gundam" each hit?
No, I couldn't come up with the words because leather and metal and bare ass do not mix.
Well,
Ow.
tell you guys what, like just communication for everything said and done, that thing hits harder than a stepdad.
Oh yes. But my favorite one is when they did the updated intro and they added the mechanized sound effects like the alerts and everything, the beeping of the sounds, and also Wing Gundam launching and everything. That is the peak intro that I show anybody who, when we talk about Gundam Wing, like, hey, have you seen this intro yet? And just so many good memories. Also, unfortunately, Kirby Morrow is no longer with us. He voices Troa. He voiced Troa,
Okay.
who, yeah, that's the one we are missing right now. Really sad that we lost we lost him. He's also pilots the Heavy Arms Gundam. He's the Heavy Arms pilot, and Sandrock is piloted by Corte, I believe that's his name. Really interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then I guess the obvious thing to start with would probably be to go around. Who was of all the main characters in the show? Who was your guys' favorite? Because there's so many different characters to choose from.
Right.
I guess to start things off, for myself, it was always Duo Maxwell. Like he was just this kind of cocky, arrogant guy. He's got the big long braids, so I'm kind of representing it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Punkwaddle, what about you?
I would definitely say the God, the I'm like, well, I mean, hold on, let me think. I know I'm being tested on this later, but
It will be a test.
No, not tested, just judged.
yeah, but I think Troa, because not just because of Heavy Arms, but because he has that kind of like artsy mystique. Like he has his own, like I could just hang out with the circus people. Like I got a job, I got a functionality, and like, oh, it's time to fight. Cool, let me get my Gundam. Like he was the cool guy, right?
He was the problem with Troll was he was this amnesiastic character with the mysterious background.
Yeah,
Which is going up against a bunch
what's
of
up,
other
Matt Dog?
characters that have a very similar sort of thing. You have Heero being the super like edgy, like I'll kill you.
yeah,
then
he's
you-
the edge lord of the '90s. Like,
That's
Yeah,
one of my favorite scenes.
don't invite me to
I,
your birthday.
I posted every birthday, I swear.
Yeah,
I like oh wait.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Here we go.
Yeah.
In terms of favorites, it goes from Quattro to Duo to Heero to Troa. then Chang in that order. And the reason why I say Quatre, because remember, he was the heir to a major space mining company, which was the Winter Corporation. And keep in mind, he's a rich kid. He is a rich kid, but he's not like all the other rich kids that we've seen in later Gundams.
He's more like what am I? Hold on, Green Arrow rather than Batman.
something like that, basically. And the reason why I like him is because he is actually the nicer of the three. Well, I mean, if you want to put him with Duel, they're both nice. And and Duel Maxwell, I feel like he's smarter than he lets on because of the cocky arrogance and everything. Because he keep in mind, these guys know how to pilot their Gundams already.
Well,
and
Duel's always in the right place at the right time. Even when he's like locked up, he's like, "All right, cool, let's go." Like, not phased, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. Snacks, what about you? Well, who's your favorite character from this cast of characters?
I mean, it is going to be obviously the best Char clone.
Yeah.
Just he
Saw that.
he pilots the tall geese. He's just really like a man on a mission. The mission changes every once in a while, but he's pretty. He knows what he wants, and he's a true gentleman. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He will rebuild your Gundam so he can fight you fairly. You know?
Oh, what a character! Because Zex was, or I guess we should say, Miliardo Peacecraft.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
was at
Zex
the time
Marquise.
when this was all coming out. Zex was just this character who took off and became that heartthrob character of so many like women that I knew at the time who were into anime, who were like kind of catching between like the Gundam or between that Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, that were all kind of into this stuff too. It was like there he was to be that character surrounded by the roses and be that suave character that had all the fan fiction written about them.
You're not wrong. You were not wrong, Ironcaster. You were not wrong. You were not wrong, because there have been many discussions. Actually, one of my old friends from high school. This was during my time. She had a doujin completed with checks and somebody else. I couldn't remember who the other person was. Really well detailed, like the most detailed doujin I've ever seen. But unfortunately, she is no longer with us, so which sucks. Because I really wanted, if I told her if I had the money, I would have bought that from her, a copy of it from her up front with cash on the fly. And she's like, graduation, I'll give it to you as a graduation present. She dies. She passes away 4 weeks later before graduation.
Wow.
Ooh.
It sucks. She was like one of the coolest people in that whole conundrum of my friends and everything. And I'm just like, damn it. But it's pretty cool to know that there are fans out there and everything who do, because she respected the genre and everything, because it was really, really well done. I wish the one time I wish I had money on me. That's like one of the times you wish you had money, like right there in your pocket, ready to go. Like, here you go.
See, sucks that the Gundam Blu-rays are. Yeah, you're not wrong. They are out of print, and you're not buying that first Blu-ray for less than $100.
I managed to pick up the Wing Blu-ray. I want to say it was about 3 or 4 years ago, like right when I was unemployed. Yeah, I want to say it was like three years ago in that moment where I was that that spring right around this time when I was unemployed and I was between jobs trying to find stuff. And I was like, you know what? I need to collect some stuff. And I went on, I got the Wing one, first and second season and the Endless Waltz for, OVA. I got War in the Pocket. I got Stardust Memory. And I think I'd have to look, but I think I got one or two others and a few Studio Ghibli movies. I think there was a sale at the same time because Amazon does that every now and then. But every few years since, like, I'll try to see what's around, what's not too overpriced. Because, like, I could see them coming out with a really expensive anniversary box set here, maybe, but we'll see.
I'm really surprised they didn't have anything ready for this, given, of all, Crunchyroll didn't have anything ready for this, given that Gundam Wing is one of those big titles. It would be like not having an Evangelion box set ready for this year, which is also the 30th anniversary, because both these series came out in 95.
Well, and then Seed just had a major Gundam anniversary with new shows and new mecha. And Wing is just like, it's just Wing, the thing that started in the West, right? What got so many kids, like you said, between Evangelion and Wing and Toonami, like this was the bread and butter for this generation.
Yep, and this is, I mean, for all the things we could kind of point to, I would say this that early 90s lineup of these big anime titles was ultimately the real bedrock on which the modern anime culture is really cemented. Yes, things had come before, but it was just Dragon Ball, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon were like these three big titles that came out and just changed everything. Like an entire culture popped up all around this. That is still living on to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think I don't know. I'm kind of think it's time to go do a little revisit of Gundam Wing for myself, and I think I might pop it in and just blast just communication at the top as loud as I can on the main TV.
Yeah, and then there was also Rhythm Emotion and so many different. So Gundam Wing for everything. It had a great soundtrack too. Like it had a great soundtrack. You had the high powered band 2 mix at the forefront for your openings and endings. Even for the movie too, because White Reflection is still one of the coolest pieces to play in that movie. And Last Impression too. Last Impression is probably the most well played insert song to really drive home that movie. That's where I'm gonna stop right there.
It's just largely this anime of this era of like all that J-pop soundtrack that my mind goes back to Dance Dance Revolution, to so many of these other little things that were kind of getting brought over. That Cat, what are you doing? Decide she wants to go play in the blinds. Like, what's outside? It's like nothing you need to worry about, Cat. Don't worry about it. But anyway, last thoughts on Gundam Wing, guys? A Punkwaddle?
I mean, like I said, these not only are the kits still going, so I'll be honest, we didn't talk about the mecha as much, so I feel like sorry, I meant to mute. The Sandrock Gundam is the most confusing. It's got like this Uzi and these heat swords that I guess work for the desert. But you have so many grunts, like the 40 of Sandrock's guard down in the desert, and they had the one-offs, but then you could buy the 40 edition from P Bandai for all of them, all the unique different versions, all the Leo variants, and then you have not only the Endless Waltz versions, which we've seen come out, the P Bandai variants, which I think I have. Okay, so I guess the Shenlong Gundam is the only one that I've never really bought or put together. But I have, ironically, I do like the Sandrock. I like its Shroud version. And then
and plus we had the cloth with it before Crossbone.
Right, true. And the cloth with it before we had the Exia rebuild. From season 2 of that one. And then, but there's also the Glory of the Losers versions, where the Sandrock has the whole armor shell on it. You know, Heavy Arms gets the extra missile pods and the tank fold downs for its legs, and like the manga and stuff. All these different variations.
Everyone loves more hard points.
Yep, in Daka. But it's just, like I said, that there's something in all the different versions of Death Scythe, and then you have the P Bandai versions that have Death Scythes with the original Gundam Wing backpack and all these cool variants. Like I said, it's just a really, really fun era, and we don't get those kits the same way. Go ahead.
It was the right series with the right designs at the right time. Much like how the original Mighty Morphin era of Power Ranger suits, they just hit right. Like, just as an aside, we just got to see the Red Ranger from that coming back today with the Super Sentai, and for all the criticism I give of Mighty Morphin for sucking the oxygen out of the room, there, like, it's still great to see it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snacks, what about you? Any last thoughts for Gundam Wing?
Gundam Wing is it was my first Gundam, and still one of my favorites. I do like the original just a teeny bit more, but it is damn near like neck and neck with the OP. It's a fun series. It's great to. It's a good binge to watch through, and it might be 50 episodes plus a movie, but it goes by pretty fast. I love it. Just love Gundam Wing.
Yeah, perhaps I have judged it too harshly over the years. The funny thing is, just that last thought of, it's a series ultimately about how our main characters, our Gundam pilots, are playing terrorists, trying to go and stop war by declaring war on our people.
Yep.
To stop basically a billionaire from taking over the world.
Well, I love how all the Gundam techs, each of these are from different satellites in different places that don't know each other. They just know they're part of this mission, and they're trying to free the old Gundam engineers who are like, oh, we can take all these parts and we can create the ultimate Gundam Wing, that tortures your brain as you pilot. It's funny, the juxtaposition. I know we're trying to wrap up, but I do find it interesting that the two is the Tall Geese, which is the one that's been around forever, that is such a puts such a strain on your body and your physicality, right? Versus Wing with your mental state and your psychology.
Everyone loves that Wing. Everyone loves that Wing system, the 0-1.
Yeah, that messes with your head and thinks everybody's out to get you. That sounds like the best. That sounds like all the paranoia and all the kids on all the.
But on the upside, you developed the perfect way on killing them all.
Yeah, just let them pilot it and they'll kill off each other.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the those figures, and Snacks can tell you I have tons of them.
So simple, so simple to put together. So my sister got it for me for Christmas. She got it for me. because she's like, "Hey, I know you like Gundam and everything, so I got you."
That's real cool.
She got me that one and a few others. I don't know where their other ones are at.
But she got him. So, Anime Night, got any last thoughts for us? Gundam Wing?
I have to say, give Gundam Wing a fair chance. It's a slow burn, but it really picks up. Like, give it 3 episodes, and
Mhm.
boom, it's right off the tailgate and everything. The characters are introduced wonderfully.
Yes.
Gundam Wing still is one of my all-time favorite mechas to talk about from time to time, because it just has that lasting impact. And before because I don't want to throw somebody into watching Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. I don't want to do that. Go watch Gundam Wing first.
Oh, you need to
Then-
set up first. You can't just jump into endless waltz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of my friends did that and he was so confused midway. He's like, "Wait, who are these
Yeah.
people?" I'm like, "You didn't watch Gundam Wing, did you?" He's like, "No, I didn't." Go watch Gundam Wing, and then come back and see me, and we'll watch Endless Waltz.
At least by this time, we all know that Endless Waltz has intentionally a different art style. Because at first you're like, they're sending their Gundams into space, but they have new Gundams. But that's not exactly what happened, because they just they do enough transfer. The first scene is the last scene from the TV show. So you're like, okay, like something doesn't look the same, but I'll accept it, right? Like Gundam Wing, completely different wings, completely different stylized. Heavy Arms has the double Gatling and all this stuff. And it's just like the suspension of disbelief of like, okay, we'll go with it, right?
Guys,
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you all for showing up. And I got the links. I think I got the links to everyone down in the description. Except Anime Night, I will have to get you added down there. Punkwaddle, what's coming up with you? You got more ponderings for us?
Yeah, I got more positivity. Today, we broke the ice. I talked a little bit about McDonald Island. After talking with a friend, I need to figure out what's the best way to go. Because I don't know if they need to set up an embassy here in the States or in Texas, to negotiate the tariffs for penguins, right? If you heard about that, I don't know if I could be really an ambassador because I don't have dual citizenship of that country, but I need to figure out the routes how to get better penguin representation. So there's maybe a political thing that I might try to lean into a little bit, but
Well, penguin news. You should absolutely make that a part of your channel.
Yeah, like breaking the ice might start having a little bit more penguin stuff. But I do think delving into politics, I don't think I should go for president, but something about political representation of penguins might be in my jam.
You might just be eligible for the Penguin of the Month Club. They have a calendar.
Ain't he not penguin? Ain't he not penguin enough for the Penguin Club?
Yeah, penguin. I think you mean Club Penguin.
Club Penguin for
That's
men.
still a thing.
I don't think so.
No, but so you know who is a thing, and that's snacks. What you
Yeah,
got
I'm a
coming
thing,
up for us?
alright.
Little nipping and nagging.
Yeah. I'm starting. Everyone's crying about puppets, more puppets. I'm like, okay, I'll start making puppets now. So
Finger puppets.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants one.
everyone wants one. Yep, exactly. So I'll start making puppets. I'll make some.
You know what you
I'll
need to
try
do?
to. I'm attempting to start something for a mass production puppet. So
Okay.
get my
Let,
my gym per se, my Zaku.
what if we did like $100 super chat goal for you? You will make a puppet.
$100 super chat for a puppet.
Yeah. I didn't say it was gonna be a big fancy puppet or anything, but we've got.
I can make a little one for 100. Yeah, 100%. 1% per dollar.
Yeah, I think we got a new thing for you. Emmett, what's going on with you? I know you've been doing the Knights of the Round.
Yeah, Knights of the Anime Table. We didn't do an episode yesterday because I was at Game On Expo all weekend from this past Friday to yesterday. I'm gonna be doing a post con stream, and I'm gonna unveil a lot of goodies that I got from that convention. And
Do a little showcase for us.
I'll do a tease, but I managed to get one of these.
Ooh. Mars Attacks, good man.
$10. $10. And I'm like, bull. And he's like, no, not bullshit. You want it? I reached in my pocket. I never pulled out my wallet that fast for anything. And he was just looking at me. And he accepted the payment. Hey, Vince, what's up? I do have real quick, Ham. Let me go grab it real quick. This is just a tease for what's coming. This is a tease. Be right back. Hang on 1 second.
So while he's doing that, for myself, coming up this week, we have over on Pops' tomorrow for Talk Hard. We are getting into The Great Escape, the classic World War II film.
Ooh.
Oh yes, that one is a good one. There's so many World War II
I
films.
need to get on Talk Hard with Pops. I miss hanging out with all of them. I've just been so busy. I've been so busy lately.
We gotta figure out a way to schedule you in, and we can try to make it happen. But there's another piece of '90s nostalgia.
I have Sango up there and Shishomaru and Jakin in their respective. I nearly got Naraku. I nearly got him. They wanted 85 for him. But this one right here, 35.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you going to open your toys?
No.
Oh, come on, you got to play with your toys.
No, my roommate told me if I open this, she would kick my ass in the hallway for 3 hours.
We're gonna have our little waifus.
Yes, we have the waifus. Yes, we do. But this is the only tease I'm gonna be doing because the rest I really want to save for the live stream because I did get some really awesome stuff. I got to meet Johnny Young Bosch on Saturday, and then I got to meet Kira, damn it, her name's escaping me already. Buckland, thank you, Kira Buckland on Friday, and I got to meet Rob Paulson same day.
Nice.
Everybody was there.
That's cool.
Well, it sounds like you had a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hear more about it. But guys, until next time, I think this is the perfect time for us to sign on out. And again, I want to thank everyone who showed up in the chat. I want to thank everyone here who's on the panel. Be good. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you transform and roll on out because we only got one life to live. So while I try to find all my clips in the meantime, I'm gonna send you out with what the heck? We'll do that one on our way out. So take care, guys. Be seeing ya.